Good morning, third graders. I welcome you to today's social studies lesson. This week, we're going to look into some very important skills that you're going to cover that are related to Unit 3, Citizens and Government. So don't forget to pause this video and replay it for better understanding. Great, so the learning objective of this week's lesson is to identify the characteristics of a roadmap and to write directions to get from one location to another. Right? So you're going to be looking at a roadmap. Let's get started. This is a snapshot from your textbook, and you can see there are 3 steps that you could use while you're reading a roadmap. The first step is find the roads. Roads are shown as solid lines. Thicker lines are used for main roads, and sometimes you have distinctive key features within your map that you can utilize in order to figure out the roads. Perfect. Step number 2, look for points of interest or other local features such as a park or a school or a railroad tracks. These features usually have a label and there's a key, so you can identify, well, okay, that's a school, that's a park, that's a hospital, or that's a railroad track. Great. Step 3, trace a road route with your finger. Follow solid lines from where you are to where you want to go. And as you do that, you're going to use some terms like go to the right, go to the left, go straight ahead, walk a few blocks. Terms like these while you basically describe the distance or the route from one place to another. Okay. Alright, third graders, please open your SST practice books to page number 77, and on this page you can see there is a map of Washington, D.C. presented in front of you, and there are some questions that you're going to answer after reading these questions on your book. So the first question here is, if you left the National Gallery of Art to go to the Vietnam Veterans Memorial, what street would take you there? So the first thing you need to do is locate the National Gallery of Art and of course the Vietnam Veterans Memorial. So let me show you how you can do that yourself. So I'm going to circle these 2 landmarks because this is what's being mentioned in the sentence. That's the first thing to do. Circle down the landmarks, and then when you're done you need to just use your finger and trace it all the way from the first mentioned place, which was the art gallery, all the way to the memorial. So if I do that, or at least pretend to do that, you can see that that's the Constitution Avenue. So the answer is I'm going to take, which word am I going to take? I'm going to take the Constitution Avenue. Well done. Now let's try the next one. Alright, so which 2 numbered streets are on each side of the White House? So again, I'm going to look for the White House. There it is. Then I'll look on either side and I see 2 streets. And the first street I see is the 17th and the 14th. Both of them. Simple. Just write those street numbers down. Easy, right? Now let's see if you can try the next questions yourself. Great, so it's the same page, but we're dealing with question 3 and 4. I want you to give this a shot yourself. Pause the video, and then I'll reveal the answers. Great, grade 3s. I'm assuming that you tried, right? Let's see if you got your answers right. So the first answer to the question, what museum buildings are located between the Washington Monument and the mall? So I hope that you followed the instructions and circle both of these places down, the monument and the mall, and you can find that it's the Smithsonian street, right? So you can write that down. Now let's look into the next answer, and the answer was Lincoln Memorial. Great, I hope you got your answers right, and if you did not, you need to reflect on your understanding and check as to why. Perfect. Now the next thing we're going to do is something very easy. I promise. We're going to learn how to resolve conflicts. I promise you there are only 4 steps. Very easy work. The first step that you need to take is you need to know the meaning of the word conflict, right? And a conflict is when people have different ideas and opinions, and that can lead to a conflict where they think differently and they don't agree to the same thing. That's a conflict, right? And now you're going to learn how do you settle down and resolve it and come to a middle ground. So the first step is walk away. Yes, that's the easiest one. Wait until both people can talk calmly about the conflict. Now let's say that you've got a fight or a heated argument. The first step you do is walk away, calm your nerves, take deep breaths, and relax. Step number 2, smile about it. Just smile about it. You know, smiling itself just resolves half the trouble. So smile about it. Be friendly about it. Don't take it to your nerves. Don't take it too personally. Step number 3, Compromise. Now, compromise is when two people they give away some of their wants or their ideas and come to a middle ground, right? So that's step 3, and step 4 is ask for help. So you basically look for a mediator, right? So if you are a student and there is a conflict between you and your mate, you could actually ask someone else, like a third party, to settle down the conflict. That could be a teacher, for instance, right? So that's step number 4 now. And this person who does that, by the way, is called a mediator. So don't forget these highlighted words. Let's move on to what you're going to do about this exercise, all right? So this is page number 79 in your practice book. All what you need to do is read the questions and then answer them by thinking about these 4 steps, right? And the first problem that's given to you here is that you and your friend are both hungry, but there is only one banana, right? So what are you going to do? So this is my sample answer. You can pause and then you can think about it. If not, you can simply write down this answer, and this is what I would do. I could walk away and then come back to check what fruits are left. Or choice number 2, you could basically compromise and agree to share the banana, right? Great, let's look at the second. All right, grade 3, let's look at the second case scenario, and you can see in the picture that there is a boy who has a basketball, and the other kids are just, folding their hands, and their body language states that they're not included in this game. And then the case scenario is another student has the only basketball. He refuses to play with anyone else, so this is the type of student who doesn't like to share. What can you do? I want you to pause, think about it, come with a solution to this conflict, and then I'll share the answer that I think I would write to this conflict. Great, so this is my answer. Your answer could vary, but remember, it needs to follow those 4 steps. First, you could smile and try to talk to the student and tell him or her that, it's a lot of fun playing together. And if that doesn't work, you could basically ask a mediator or a teacher or a parent for help, depending on where this situation takes place. Great, so guys, this was about conflict resolution. I want you to write these answers down in your practice books. And when you're done, please don't forget to leave a comment that you're done with your work. Best of luck, grade 3!